Hi again, everyone. Gary Digital Williams here on Boxing Along the Beltway, our news and notes. And of course, we've been kind of sporadic with the news and notes because a lot of things going on in the personal life, but also news has been kind of sporadic as of late, but it's starting to pick up once again. And some big events coming up this week. And this week, we're going to talk about some of those big events, some events that took place this past weekend. Of course, some amateur news are pretty big. And we're going to do something we do periodically here on the Boxing on the Beltway News and Notes podcast and on the blog, and that is a ratings watch. We're going to look at the ratings from the four major governing bodies and the Ring magazine, see where some of our Beltway boxers are. We actually have at least one Beltway boxer somewhere in the ratings of all four of the major governing bodies, and of course, our champions are featured in the Ring magazine ratings as well. So we're going to talk about that all this week. Boxing on the Beltway News and Notes brought to you by Real-Time Pain Relief, the fast, safe, plant-based ointment. And if you go to www.freepainoffer.com, buy $10 worth of Real-Time Pain Relief, you get a free $10 tube of Real-Time Pain Relief. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. Well, let's start our recap with some mixed results that took place at a card at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania this past Saturday night. Interesting situation. We had four Beltway boxers on this card, and it was mixed. It was mixed. Some good action out of these bouts, though. First of all, in the winning category, Marcus the Dream Crusher Bates out of Washington, D.C. He's the bantamweight. He won a 6-round unanimous decision over a very game Roberto Escorpion Pucheta. He's from La Villa de Carambro, Jalisco, Mexico. Now, he was scheduled to fight, they were scheduled to fight on the last card at Rosecroft Raceway, but that bout, for whatever reason, didn't take place. So it took place this past week in Philadelphia. It was also on the King's Promotions card as well. Now, I got a lot of reports on this. I want to thank a lot of people, Rich Quinones and a few other people who sent me results from this show in Philadelphia. So I really appreciate that. And apparently, Bates had to really survive Pucheta's onslaught early in the bout before he came on strong in the middle rounds. Now, Bates knocked down Pucheta in the fifth round on the left hand, went on to win the bout by scores of 59-54 and 58-55 twice. Bates is now 7-0 and 1 draw, 6 KOs. Pucheta is 10-12-1, 6 KOs. And this is the second straight time that he's lost to a Beltway boxer. Remember, back on May 24th, Pucheta lost a 6-round unanimous decision to the returning Kevin Rivers Jr. That was in Santa Monica, California. So congratulations to Marcus Bates. Also, Gregory Glizzy Clark won a 6-round unanimous decision over Daryl Dream King Bunting of Ashbury Park, New Jersey. Now, Clark seemed to be in command of the bout throughout the contest, although Rich Quinones texted me. He's the gentleman, by the way, out of New Jersey and Philadelphia. He does a lot of boxing and other sports on ESPN radio up there. And I've worked with him on a number of occasions. Great guy. And he said it was just an ugly fight. Just horrible fight. But Clark won the bout, 3-1-1, 1 KO. Bunting, who's originally from Marietta, Georgia, falls to 3-2-2, 1 KO. Heavyweight Kobe Madison, he's out of Owings Mills, Maryland. He fought to a 6-round majority draw against fellow undefeated boxer Joel Caudle of Raleigh, North Carolina. That was a late addition to this card. Madison was on the card, but it was hard to find an opponent for him. They found a tough one in Caudle, and Madison didn't help his fortunes any because he did suffer a broken right hand in the first round. Caudle actually won one judge's scorecard 58-56, but the other two saw the draw 57-57. Madison went 6 rounds for the very first time in his career. He's now 4-0 with 1 draw, 3 KOs. Caudle is 7-0-1, 5 KOs. And in the first bout on the card, DC lightweight Jordan Kid Peters, he lost a close 4-round unanimous decision to pretty boy Chase Nelson out of Dayton, Ohio. Peters lost by 39-37 across the board. Peters loses for the very first time. He's 2-1-1, 2 KOs. Nelson's record rises to 6-1, 3 KOs. And I don't normally talk about other cities' bouts, but everybody's talking about that great main event that took place on this card. I talk about this because Marshall Kaufman, King's Promotions, put on some great shows here in our area, in the Beltway area. So I got to give him his props on this one. Tyrone Brunson fought Kermit Cintron on this card, and everybody's talking about this bout. Brunson actually got knocked down twice and came back to win the bout. So, just a tremendous bout from what I've heard. I have not seen the video of it, but everybody I have talked to said it probably is the best fight that they will see in Philadelphia this year. So it's great to be a part of that for the Beltway as well. So 2-1-1 on that card in Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena. Now, on Friday, June 23rd, at the Motor City Casino in Detroit, Michigan, Suitland, Maryland super welterweight Linwood, Mr. Composure Dozier, he lost a 6-round unanimous decision to Daryl Cunningham of Detroit, and he lost by 59-55 across the board. Dozier just had some tough times. He's a good opponent. He takes guys to the limit, but he's in that position in his career now where a win is going to be very tough for him to get. He's lost his last 6, as a matter of fact. He's 10-18-2, 5 KOs, and Cunningham is now 36-9, 14 KOs. So that was the recaps from this past week. So as we move to the amateurs are big this week because of the Junior Olympic Prep and Youth Open Championships that are taking place this week at the Charleston Civic Center in Charleston, West Virginia. Trying to get you some updates on the first round activity. But however, you can see the bouts as they happen live on YouTube. If you actually go on, there's a link on the blog, on Box On Beltway blog, where you can actually see the link to the live stream that takes place at noon and 6 p.m. There's an afternoon session at noon, evening session at 6 p.m. Trying to get some updates on it. Ricky Womack from the PVA, Pony Valley Association, he sent me some updates for their boxers, but I know some South Atlantic boxers competed as well. So hopefully he'll give me the updates for all the Beltway boxers that are involved in that, among 350 boxers that are competing in West Virginia this week. So best wishes to all our Beltway boxers there. Meanwhile, another Beltway boxer, amateur, Troy Isley, recently qualified for the Elite Men's World Championships that will take place August 25th to September 3rd in Hamburg, Germany. Now, Isley had a tough time in the National Golden Gloves in May. He actually lost in the first round. From what I heard, he did not take that belt very seriously from what people told me, and he paid for it. However, he's got himself back on track right now, and he punched the ticket to the World Championships in Honduras back on June 17th when he won a 5-0 decision over Herbert Souza of Brazil during the 2017 Continental Championships. So congratulations to Troy Isley, who did a great job and now is part of the Elite Men's World Championships. That'll take place once again August 25th through September 3rd in Hamburg, Germany. Well, the big pro news this week concerns Lamont Roach Jr., who was a Beltway Boxing Rookie of the Year and also one of our 3 prospects from this past year. In 2016, 2015, he was the Beltway Boxing Rookie of the Year. He's the defending WBC Youth Super Featherweight Champion, and he will defend that title on Friday, June 30th, this coming Friday, against Jesus A. Valdez, Chuito of Sonora, Huatabambo. That's a tough one. Huatabambo, Sonora, Mexico. And that'll be at the Fantasy Springs Casino in Indio, California. And that bout will be shown live on ESPN2 this Friday, June 30th. He's scheduled for 10 rounds. Roach returns to the location where he won his last contest. He won that title, scoring a first-round knockout of Alejandro Valdez on January 28th. Roach is 13-0 with 5 KOs. Valdez is 22-1, 20 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw, 9 KOs. He makes his first trip to the continental United States. He's fought in Puerto Rico, and he's won his last 4 bouts in his native Mexico. All 4 of those wins came against under 500 competition. So, best wishes to Lamont Roach Jr. as he makes his first defense of his WBC Youth Silver Super Featherweight title. And again, that'll be June 30th in Indio, California. So make sure you're watching ESPN2 for that. We're going to take an early look at July at this moment because the weekend of July, actually the week of July 13th through the 15th is huge for our area. We're going to talk about two of the events coming up on that week in just a little bit, but that's going to be a big weekend for us. And we actually start on Thursday, July 13th. We'll be live from Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland for the latest Baltimore Pro Boxing card. And I'm going to tell you, folks, this is going to be a very good card. This should be a very nice card. Kind of a connection to the Burns Arena card that took place this past weekend. You heard that bout, or that card on the Box On Beltway Google app for Android. What a card that was. That's Shabazz Brothers card. And there was a card where a lot of our local boxers did not get favors. And some of the boxers that were on that card will be on this card on Thursday, July 13th. Let's take a look at the card real quickly. A couple bouts have been signed already. One of them is the main event. That's going to be Jesse the Beast Nicklo, who is a longtime Beltway fan favorite out of Baltimore, Maryland. And he'll take on Sherman the Tank Artist from Severn, Maryland. That'll be in an 8-round super middleweight champion. Contest. It won't be a championship, it'll be a contest. Nicklo is 26-8-3, 8 KOs. And I got to tell you, I have a special connection with Jesse Nicklo. He was our first rookie, a major rookie in the Boxing on the Beltway era. He was the very first Boxing on the Beltway Rookie of the Year back in 2006, where he was very busy and very, very talented. Now, as you said, Nicklo's overall record is 26-8-3, 8 KOs. However, he is 24-0-3 in the state of Maryland. He has never lost a bout in Maryland. He's fought all over Maryland. He's fought at Pikesville Armory. He's fought at Burns Arena. He's fought at Michael's 8th Avenue a few times. He's fought all over the state. And he's never lost. He's had 3 draws. I remember one against Julius Kennedy. That was one of the best bouts of 2010. But he has never lost in the state of Maryland. His last bout was in the state of Maryland. That was on January the 13th at Michael's when he won an 8-round unanimous decision over Chauncey Fields. Now, Nicklo in his career, once he stepped up a little bit, has fought well but has not been successful. All 8 of his losses have come against really solid competition. He's lost to the likes of Jermaine Taylor, former world champion. He lost a nationally televised bout against Fernando Guerrero. He lost a nationally televised bout against, actually it wasn't nationally televised. He traveled to Japan to face Ryota Murata, who is ranked among the top boxers in the middleweight division right now. Nicklo fought him when he was like 8-0. And was the first person to go the distance with Ryota Murata. So, big one. He's also lost to Ronald the Thrill Gavil. So every time he stepped up into that elite status, he's fallen a little short. But again, you won't find any more exciting boxer and fun boxer to watch than Jesse the Beast Nicklo. Now, Sherman Artist, on the other hand, is an interesting situation. Sherman Artist has been around the sport for a number of years. And in fact, he made his pro debut way back in 2010. But he hasn't fought a lot as a pro. He's only fought 4 times. He's 3-0, 3-1, I should say, as a pro. And he made a return after almost a 3-year absence back on March 30th when he won a 4-round unanimous decision over Steve Wheeler, who was also returning at that time. So this will be an interesting bout. I mean, it's kind of experience versus youth, but really, Artist has been around the sport for a long time. He just hasn't competed a lot as a pro. And whether or not that will serve him well against a battle-worn and Jesse Nicklo, who's been in a lot of battles. I mean, he's been in some tough battles over his career. We'll have to wait and see. So that'll be interesting to see what happens. Now, Nicklo may be looking ahead to a 3rd contest with Scott Cujo Sigmund. There's a lot of talk about that. Should he get past Artist on July 13th, there may be a 3rd bout between Nicklo and Sigmund. Each man has won 1 bout. So we'll see what happens there. Also on the card in a 4-round bout, Dangerous Donald Wallace will take on Shane Pearson out of Statesville, North Carolina. Dangerous Donald Wallace is out of Baltimore. Now, Wallace is 2-0, 1 draw, 1 KO. He'll look to improve off a 6-round majority draw that he had against Gregory Clark on the last Michaels card that was on May 12th. Now, he's going to face a tough guy in Shane Pearson. Pearson makes a quick return to the Beltway. Now, Pearson was on that June 17th card that took place at the Burns Arena in Baltimore. That's the card you heard right here on the Box on Beltway Google app for Android. Right now, I think it is the favorite for Beltway boxing card of the year, but this card on Michaels could challenge that. So Pearson scored a shocking first round TKO over Stephon Morris on that June 17th card. I mean, a lot of people are going to say that Morris had a lot of things going on with the recent passing of his father, but give credit to Pearson. Pearson did exactly what he was supposed to do in that situation. He didn't even know about Morris's father passing, and when ring announcer Discombobulating Jones mentioned it, Pearson zoomed over to Morris's corner and supported him after that. So he showed a lot of class in that situation, and he showed a lot of power in the bout as well. So it'll be interesting to see what Wallace does against Pearson. He's on a roll. That should be interesting to see what happens there. That's scheduled for 4 rounds. Dangerous Donald Walls against Shane Pearson. Also on the card, undefeated Glenard and Maryland super lightweight Devontae Speed Rawls will be back in action. He'll take on, in a 6-round contest, the incredibly busy Matt Murphy out of St. Louis, Missouri. Speed Rawls comes off a 3rd-round stoppage of Rhino Griffin. That was on March 25th at University of the District of Columbia Physical Activity Center in D.C. And he's fought very well. He is 6-0-1 with 4 KOs. Murphy, meanwhile, I mean, I've been around some busy boxers. I mean, I know Nicola was busy at one point. He fought like 8 or 9 times in 1 year. Of course, Mac Allison the fourth, who is the 2007 Rookie of the Year in the Beltway. He fought 7 times this year, but I can't think of anybody any busier than Matt Murphy. Matt Murphy is 2-13-3 with 2 KOs. We're just finishing, by the time we will be in the second half of the year, we'll be in July. So we'll be in the 7th month of the year. Murphy will be fighting for the 10th time in 2017. Now, the last time, actually wasn't even the last time. Murphy is now had back-to-back draws that took place over a 5-day period and were separated by 3,000 miles. Back on June 17th at the Burns Arena, Murphy held Mac Allison IV to a 4-round majority draw. That was the first time Allison went the distance, first time he had not come out a victor. No, I'm sorry, it was not the first time he went the distance, but it was, because he was 7-0, 7 KOs. Yeah, it's the first time he went the distance. So Murphy got a draw out of that. Now, 5 days later, on June 22nd, Murphy traveled all the way to Los Angeles, California, and battled a guy named Zachary Woolman to a 4-round split decision draw. So he's coming right back to action on July 13th, and he'll be on this card at Michael's 8th Avenue, Glen Burnie, Maryland. So it'll be interesting to see what Devontae Rawls does with that and whether or not Murphy can handle the speed of Speed Rawls. Because the one thing that Mac Allison really doesn't have is fast hands. Speed Rawls has that in all sorts of spades on that one. So we'll see what happens there. Also on the card, scheduled to be on the card, the IBO International Bantamweight Champion, Alexandru Spartan Marine of Bethesda, Maryland. He is 13-0, 9 KOs, coming off that 6-round unanimous decision against the veteran German Miraz. That on May 20th, that was at the MGM National Harbor Casino in Oxon Hill, Maryland. That should be interesting to see. We'll see what happens, what kind of opponent it would probably would not be for the IBO title, but it'll be a good way to keep him busy in that situation. Also, Ernest Lightning Bug Hall out of Baltimore. He's 2-0, 1 KO. He won a 4-round unanimous decision over Lamont White on March 30th at Michaels. And Hall will be in a 6-round bout. That's the first time that he's been in a 6-round bout as a pro. And there'll also be 3 amateur bouts on the card. And this card is the annual tribute to Jake's father, Murray the Bushwhacker Smith. This guy was a fixture in Baltimore. He promoted boxing and other events in the city. He passed away in 2013 from melanoma. And he was a character. No question about that. So that'll be July 13th from Michael's 8th Avenue, Glen Burnie, Maryland. We'll be on the air live. The card is scheduled to take place at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So look for us hopefully around 8:25. We'll try to be as precise as we can. We probably won't be on until like close to 9 o'clock because we're going to skip the amateur bouts on the card and go straight to the pro. So as soon as we get to the pro bouts, we'll be on the air live from Michael State Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. So that's July 13th. Now, July the 14th, on Showtime, on the Showbox card, that'll be from the Buffalo Run Casino in Miami, Oklahoma. And Antoine Douglas will be on that card. He'll be defending the Fecker Box title and going after the WBA, NABA middleweight title on that card. And also on that card, Glenn DeZern will be on the card against Adam Lopez. And they'll be part of a quadruple header that'll take place on Friday, July 14th from the Buffalo Run Casino in Miami, Oklahoma. We'll give you more information about that, hopefully in the next podcast. Also, on July 15th, that's Saturday, there'll be a card at the Spinks Club. That'll be the GQ Promotions card from the Spinks Club in Washington, D.C. Right now, we don't think we'll be broadcasting from that, because the last couple times we were at the Spinks Club, the Wi-Fi was absolutely horrible. So if we can do a little podcasting from there, hopefully after the show, and maybe get some results, and we'll try to do that. But the Wi-Fi there last time we were there was just horrible. We just could not get a good broadcast out of there. So we may not be broadcasting that show, but we'll give you all the details about that show once we get it. That'll be on July 15th. So that's a big weekend for the Beltway, the weekend of July 13th through the 15th, starting at Michael State Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland, followed by the Showbox card on July 14th and the Spinks Club show on July 15th. Now we're going to take a little bit of a ratings watch. We're going to see where some of our boxes are located, and the big news on the ratings. And again, I don't know how you all feel about the ratings. Some people don't take a lot of stock in them. I think they're a good gauge to see where we are in the business. So that's why every now and then I take a look at them. Now, the big news on the ratings is that one of our boxers, Elantez Fox, Slides of Fox, who is the WBC USNBC champion, has cracked the top 15 in both the WBA and the IBF. He is ranked number 14 in the world by the WBA, and he's ranked number 15 in the world by the IBF. That's a big step. No question about that. Ironically, he's the USNBC champion in the WBC. He's only ranked 35th. I don't understand that, but be that as it may. But congratulations to Elantez Fox. This is a long time in coming for him. Guy has fought very, very well over the past few years, and it has been great to see. So congratulations to Elantez Slides of Fox, who is ranked now in the top 15 in the world by both the WBA and the IBF. Now, take a look at the IBF rankings. Of course, Jared Hurd, the IBF Super Middleweight Junior Middleweight Champion, and another person has ranked in the top 15, and that is Travis Reeves out of Baltimore. He is ranked number 14 by the IBF at light heavy. So congratulations to him. Great move for Travis Severe Reeves, and he's fought very, very well as of late. He's been on an absolute roll, as I keep saying, and it's great to see that he is getting recognized by one of the major governing bodies, as he is ranked once again number 14 in the world by the IBF. Take a look at the WBC rankings and look at the middleweight once again. And in the middleweight division, we have two locals in the top 10, which is very good. Emmanuel Alim, who's the WBC silver middleweight champion, he's ranked number 7 in the world by the WBC. And, of course, Gennady Golovkin is the champion there. And also the Fecker Box champion, Antoine Douglas, just talked about him. He's ranked number 10 in the world by the WBC. So that's great to see as well. So it's going to be great to see those guys. Of course, Antoine Douglas, we said, will be participating in the bout on July the 14th. Emmanuel Alim is also ranked number 15 in the world by the WBO, the World Boxing Organization, and their champion is Billy Joe Saunders. And so Emmanuel Alim, that big win that he had recently for the WBC Silver Middleweight Championship is really doing him well also. Also in the WBO at junior welterweight, Mike Yes Indeed Reed is ranked number 8 in the world by the WBO. So hopefully that will put him in position to get some big bouts. Of course, Terrence Crawford is a champion in the WBO, and that could be a collision course of two top-ranked boxers. So we'll see what happens there. So congratulations to those boxers who are ranked among the best in the world. And if you take a look at the Ring Magazine rankings, those are the rankings that a lot of people really are high on. Swift Jared Hurd is ranked number 6 in the world at junior middleweight by Ring Magazine. And ironically, he is ranked behind Austin Trout. I don't understand that. And there's been talk that Hurd will face Trout and defend his title against Trout. They were talking about that July 29th. That doesn't look like it's going to be the case anymore. Now they're talking more about September for Jared Hurd and Austin Trout. But I find it interesting that Austin Trout is ranked ahead of Jared Hurd as in junior middleweight. I don't understand that. At welterweight, Lamont Peterson, who's the WBA champion, he is ranked number 10 in the world by Ring Magazine. Gervonta Davis, the IBF junior lightweight champion, ranked number 6 in that division, and Gary Russell Jr., the WBC featherweight champion, is ranked number 2 by Ring Magazine. Gervonta Davis, there's talk now that he may face Orlando Salido, who's ranked number 2 by Ring Magazine. He may face Salido on this farce of a card with Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, and it's an absolute farce. But it may pique my interest to see Gervonta take on Salido on that card. So that is where some of our Beltway boxers are ranked in the world. And Ring Magazine gave us some good pub in the area for Beltway boxers in the area. In their new faces, we've had a number of boxers over the years be in that new face category from Gervonta Davis. Actually, I think all 4 of the champions, the current champions, have been new faces. Gary Russell Jr., Gervonta Davis, Lamont Peterson, and Jared Hurd have all been in this new face category, along with the likes of Mike Reed as well, Lamont Roach Jr., Demetrius Ballard has been a part of it. So they've done a lot of giving us a lot of ink in Ring Magazine over the years. And they do it again among the new faces to watch. The big story is about Richardson Hitchens, who I made a mistake recently about him. I talked about him recently because he made his pro debut against a boxer that was scheduled that fought here in this area. Richardson Hitchens ended up representing Haiti in the Olympics in 2016. He lost a lightweight bout to Gary Antoine Russell, but Hitchens is signed by Floyd Mayweather, and Hitchens is doing very well so far. He's 2-0, 1 knockout. But one of the other 3 boxers to watch. This is interesting. One of the other 3 boxers was also Shakur Stevenson, believe it or not. He was on the side there. But the other one, and this is based on the great performance he had at the MGM National Harbor back on April 14th, Glenn DeZern made one of the top 3 to watch, actually top 4 to watch when you look at it. Ring Magazine, I'm reading right from their article, Glenn DeZern won an important crossroads bout against previously undefeated Leroy Davila on April 14th on Showtime's ShowBox program, taking a unanimous decision. Now, what they talk about as well, and what made it noteworthy, is that DeZern sparred with his wife, Franchon Cruz DeZern. And that's when she made her pro debut against Clarissa Shields. And actually, there's a picture, we turn to the very next page in the women's boxing section, there's a picture of Clarissa Shields taking on Franchon Cruz. So I find that very interesting as well. And if you look at the back of the Ring Magazine this month, this is the one with Vasily Lomachenko on the cover. This is the newest issue. There are pictures from the card at the April 14th card in Oxon Hill with Clarissa Shields against one of my good friends and a pioneer as far as promoting women's boxing over the years, Wanda Countess. And also there's a picture of Gary and Antoine Russell alongside Antoine Douglas. So we're all over the place, and it just shows you how the world of boxing thinks of the Beltway as a major player. We're all over the place. We're in big bouts. We're on TV often, and we've got big events coming along here. So if you want to get involved, please get involved in what's going on in the world of Beltway boxing. We have big things going on. Tell your friends to download the brand new redesigned Beltway boxing Google app for Android. It looks very nice now, so you may want to take advantage of that. It's a beautiful looking app. It was beautiful before, but it looks even better now, I think. So subscribe to that. Subscribe to our pages on iHeartRadio and as well as Spreaker.com. Make sure you download the app, and make sure you listen to some of the archive events. We've had some great interviews, great commentary, and also great play-by-play, blow-by-blow commentary of boxing over the last 3 or 4 years. So a lot to listen to right here on the Boxing on the Beltway Google app for Android. So make sure you do that as well. So thanks for listening, everybody. I'm Gary Digital Williams. Mind you, the Beltway Boxing News and Notes podcast brought to you by Real Time Pain Relief. Rub it on. The pain is gone in real time. Thanks for listening, everybody. And always remember to keep supporting the best boxing in the world. The boxing along the Beltway. Thanks for listening. Take care.